Why, hello, hello. Welcome everyone out there to another episode of Better Than Sam. I'm your host, Sam, of course, and for those who don't remember, this is the Minecraft series in which I play around with the Better Than Wolves mod. I'm going to turn down my sound level. So yeah, I'm back with this series. For those of you who don't remember it, I hope you haven't forgotten this series. I did say I would be bringing it back, and here we are now. But it's been a little bit, it's been about 3 months or so since I did an episode of this. We've been doing other chap stuff in the meantime. But yeah, here we are. We got a little bit of catching up to do. So, first off, why don't we start off with the breeding farm? Let's kind of jump right into it. So, before we start off, just a couple little forewarnings. First off, I'm recording this. I'm not recording this on my desktop anymore. I'm recording this on my my MacBook Air. I've had it for about a month. It's the 11-inch model, and it's pretty good. I bumped up the specs a little bit, but of course, it's like a wafer-thin laptop, so it's not exactly the best performance you'd expect. And because the mod Optifine isn't compatible with Better Than Wolves, I can't really boost my FPS that way. So we are playing on normal render distance for now. I've played around with the video settings, and it seems this is the best way to achieve a stable 30 frames per second on the video. Also, I apologize a little bit for the audio quality and for my voice. I might sound a little bit nasally. I'm fighting off some really annoying allergies right now. It seems like I'm kind of perpetually sick. It seems like I'm sick like half of the time that I do these videos, but I assure you I'm not sick all the time. It's just kind of unfortunate luck. And also, if you see any like weird video skips, it's just because I'm like pausing the video to blow my nose or sneeze or something like that, just so you don't like overload your speakers with the sound of me clearing my nasal passages. But anyway, enough grossness for now. Let's get into the breeding farm. So why don't I just show you that to start us off? So I mean, I certainly hope that after 3 months I've gotten this design right. It's taken quite a bit of effort, but this is what the circuitry looks like. Each of these three little tiers here are virtually identical, and basically what it's designed to do is when a pulse is sent in to these redstone lines, it'll basically toggle the trapdoors. Each level is synchronized, and so it'll basically toggle the first one, close it, and then just as it's closing, the next one is going to open, and so on and so forth. So that way when an animal is at the top, as I discussed before, an animal is going to go down to each successive level at each after each 5-minute timer. So that way you'll achieve the. I'm like waving my hands here. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I know you can't see my hands. You can achieve the proper 20-minute timings for when the baby animal turns into an adult, and everything is going to work smoothly. So let me just show you the circuitry a little bit. I'll just show you one of these levels because it's basically the same thing copied over, I think, a total of 24 times. So basically, we got our redstone signal that goes here. Now, basically, we've got a continuous line of redstone. And what the problem that I was facing originally I just had, a line of redstone would go down here. I would keep repeaters there as necessary to continue the signal, and then it would go up via redstone torches to the next level with 2 inverters. And what happened is I was getting all sorts of funky timing things going on because the trapdoors weren't all firing at the same time because repeaters. I was kind of fooling around with repeaters, and it turns out, I knew this before, but I kind of forgot about it, that repeaters, they don't just immediately repeat the signal because you can set it for 1, 2, 3 ticks of delay. It's actually 2, 3, and 4 ticks of delay because a repeater automatically has a very slight delay on its own. So what I had to do in order to compensate for that was to make it so that each trapdoor has its own input repeater, and I basically set it so that each repeater going into each trapdoor would have a timing that would compensate for the delay in the repeaters that are actually carrying the signal. So in simpler terms, basically, well, I hope it's in simpler terms. I'm not sure how much I can simplify this. Basically, the redstone signal, this is the first thing that goes into it. It goes into this repeater that's triggering this trapdoor here, and it's the same on either side. So basically, that's 2 ticks or 3 ticks of delay rather, two little repeater settings there. So let's say that's 3 ticks. Now, when the line goes here, because we've got this repeater here to carry the signal, and that's automatically 1 tick added. So this repeater here has 2 ticks of delay. So notice how this already had 3 ticks of delay. This with 1 plus these 2, that's 3 ticks of delay there. Same thing here, there's no repeater in between. And then here, because we've got another repeater here, in order to compensate, it goes all the way down to the minimum 1 tick of delay. So that way all 4 of these trapdoors fire at the exact same time just by compensating for the delay. And it's the same thing here. It's the same thing from level to level. I actually had to just kill this bugger. Kill that skeleton there. I actually had to mess around a little bit. I copied this world over into a creative mode world and just kind of messed around with spawn eggs and like seeing cows drop down from level to level. And so I found that by giving this repeater here that carries the signal to the next level 3 ticks of delay, it would make it so that the cow or pig or whatever is going to fall down from this trapdoor and land here just as this closes again. So that timing will work, so that's good. Now it is nighttime, so I'm going to head back inside and show you some other stuff that's going on. Now, because it's been a little while, of course, there have been some updates to Better Than Wolves, so there's definitely some new stuff that we can talk about. First off, there are the Dragon Orbs, which is a new type of XP. It's like red, and let me just clear out my inventory first. I was making some solar ends earlier. It's a new type of XP orbs that Flowerchild added, and instead of being able to collect them directly like regular experience orbs, you actually have to filter them out before you can use them. Otherwise, they'll just lie on the ground. And they drop from mobs when they are killed by something other than direct player intervention. So, for example, falling damage using a saw, using lava or something like that. That's all going to cause them to drop dragon orbs, and unless you filter those out, you can't use them at all. Now that's helpful because that means that you can actually collect XP from mob traps that you couldn't collect XP from before. So I think the proper filter, you use like I think you use a soul sand filter. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not exactly sure if that's how it works, but it's something like that. I'm just grabbing those ingredients for something else new that was added. So that means that this breeding farm, I can actually wire it up in a way that'll allow me to collect XP from it just by getting those dragon orbs. So that's kind of cool. So as I make more farms and stuff, more mob farms, there's a zombie dungeon over there, which I might need to use for another reason. I'm gonna be able to get XP in more ways, which is kind of cool. And then of course, as Minecraft updates to 1.3, you can get XP from mining and stuff like that. So neat stuff. Now also, Flowerchild added this thing called the Infernal Enchanter. Now, previously, I was able to just, grind my mob farm, get the XP, and then enchant my Soulforged Steel Tools, because that's really all I'm using except for this extra diamond pickaxe here. Soulforged Steel Tools, now, you can't enchant them in a normal enchantment table. That one's already enchanted, but, for example, this one, you can't enchant it in a normal enchantment table, no matter how many bookshelves you have, and it's because, for balancing purposes, I guess, that's how Flowerchild sees it, you have to use an Infernal Enchanter, it works a little bit differently. Now, in order to do this, let me just remember how this is done. I believe you have to make candles, which are like that. Oh, that makes two, so I can get rid of these. And you need black candles. Now, from here, I believe you put two like this. No, sorry, hold on. Like that. Like that. Let me just think about that. I think like that. There we go. That's an Infernal Enchanter. And now, I can just plonk this down. This is certainly not going to be its final resting place, but you can actually, rather than, it looks kind of creepy actually, rather than putting bookshelves in this formation around it, a maximum of 30 bookshelves in order to achieve maximum level enchanting, you have to use a lot more bookshelves in order to get like enchantments on this, because it's Soulforged Steel, of course. It's much more valuable. It's going to last a longer time. And this little slot here, this is for an Arcane Scroll. Now, an Arcane Scroll, they're rare mob drops, which is kind of weird. It means that you're only going to be able to enchant tools with certain enchantments. You can actually choose your enchantments now, but only if you have the proper scroll from that. And certain types of arcane scrolls drop from certain types of mobs, but they're very rare. I haven't gotten any yet. And I'm pretty sure the only way you can actually get any sort of consistent source of arcane scrolls is if you get them from a mob farm, which is unfortunate. Now, I can't break that with my diamond pickaxe, so I'm really hoping that my Matic is going to be able to do it, because I certainly don't want to lose that. And yeah, so I'm going to get around to the Infernal Enchanter a little bit later. I'm going to need a lot of bookshelves in order to accomplish that, so please don't lose this. There we go. I'm going to need a lot of bookshelves for it, which I'm going to need a sugarcane farm for, which I'm probably going to build up higher on here. And I also need sugarcane for something else, which I'll get into in a minute. Let's put this in here, and I don't really need the Matic for now. I also need sugarcane because I'm going to be making a lot of paper. And the reason for that is because I'd like to make some mining charges so that I can clear out areas much more easily. I'm pretty much all the way there. You need tallow, which is alright. I'm going to have a steady supply of pigs to make the tallow. I got my stoked cauldron down here somewhere. I've already made a good bit of tallow. I can put this back as well. But you need a lot of paper in order to make mining charges. I'd like to make like a full stack of mining charges. In order to do that, you need... for that full stack, you're going to need 6 stacks of dynamite. I've got dynamite here somewhere. You're going to need 6 stacks of dynamite. I've already got 1. You're going to need 3 stacks. For each I'm doing a little bit of difficult multiplication here. For each dynamite, you're going to need three paper. So, for example, for 1 stack of dynamite, you're going to need 3 stacks of paper, which means that that's a total of 18 stacks of paper, which is a lot of sugarcane if I'm going to make that 1 stack of mining charges. So I'm going to get around to that eventually, but probably not in this episode. I'll be building that. I'll be building that a little bit later. But now let's go out to the breeding farm. So let's do a little bit more work on it. Now, first off, I'm going to need to be able to transport those animals up there, and in order to keep them in place, I'm going to need to use. I'm running all over the place here. No wonder I use up so much food. I do so much sprinting. I've got 15 breeding harnesses here. I've been hard at work, killing cows, breeding them, making leather, gathering leather, rather, tanning them in my little wolf facility. I think I've still got 1 round of pork left. And that's been a bit of a grind. It turns out that you actually need a total of 480 pieces of tanned leather in order to make the total 24 breeding harnesses that I need for all of the animals in this farm. So that's going to be a little bit difficult, but I'll get around to that eventually. I'll probably do a lot of that gathering off camera. What am I looking for here? I need iron. And I think I need gold. I also, let's try 4 stacks of that. I'll grab this as well. I'm going to be making some rails as well, because that's how I'm going to choose to transport my animals up into the breeding farm so that I can actually play around with them there. Let's do that. Let's see. God, I haven't made rails. I've never made rails in the history of my time playing Minecraft. I don't think I've ever made rails. Let's do that. I hope you get a lot of them. Let's see. Let's try 2 stacks. Yeah, let's try 2 stacks. Also, another thing about the audio quality that I forgot to mention. I'm actually recording this with an iPhone headset, so I'm out in California right now. I'm not sure why I neglected to mention that. I'm actually out in California right now. That's why I'm using my MacBook Air and not my desktop. I'm visiting friends and family out here. I'm going to be out here for a little while longer. That's why we haven't been able to record any more chap stuff. That's why I've been a little bit off in my uploading. But I'm out here for about half of the summer, so that's what I'm up to. And yeah, just in case you wanted to know that. So that's what the deal is. Maybe we'll be able to, Skype in for a chap's recording session or some sort of, multiplayer commentary with Emmett and Keegan, if you guys want that. But yeah, we'll get around to something like that. But that's just what the deal is. So let's see. Let's get some cobblestone or something. Again, a little bit stuffed up here. Okay, here we go. We'll get that. I'm not entirely accustomed to the whole, I know I've been doing it for ages, but it's not exactly easy to play Minecraft and actually make decisions and stuff like that while you're doing a live commentary. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So, let me just test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks high. So, let's see. 2. That's going to be 12 blocks high, which means I'm going to need to make a staircase kind of thing to transport the animals. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one of those damn it, I lost count. There's one of those dragon arms right there. Notice how I can't pick it up. I got to filter that. It's probably just going to disappear because I'm not going to do anything with it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I think I can just go like this, like that. And yeah. Also, I think I'm going to do a slightly different format for this episode. Now that I've kind of nailed down the basics, at least as far as I can remember, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording my voice, keep recording this footage, and then I'm actually going to do a post-recorded kind of commentary over a time-lapse of this. Because there are some things that I kind of want to talk about as more of a commentary type thing as opposed to your live Minecraft discussion. But I'm not the best at discussing topics that actually require a thought process while playing Minecraft and trying to make those decisions at the same time. So I think now that I've finished this, it won't really be any delay for you because of the magics of editing. But I'm going to pause the recording now, and I'm going to keep playing, and then we'll do a bit of a post-recorded commentary. So yeah.